Hey Marvel Strike Force, it's been a minute since we've done a defense video. We've had changes in the game, we've had some stuff happen. Um, since the last time I did a defense, we've had Starjammers completely come free to play. We've had Null come to the game. Um, we've had Vigilante almost come pay to play, but they're start almost at free to play. We've had Liberty go to bumps. We've had some things happen. Um, we've had Thunderbolts go, the reworks come to the game. So we've had some extra pieces come out that we need to talk about. We've had Overpower stay in the game, sadly. Speaking of that, we have a new Overpowered blog. I want to go over that in another video, so stay tuned for that. We'll also be going over a Crucible defense in another video. I am going to try to make the best of an Overpowered defense as I can. And let's get into that real quick before we jump into this. With an overpowered defense, I am specifically targeting the things that I am using in the Xavier trial for my overpowered characters. Because we don't really have much choice right now in who we can take to the Xavier trial. They are forcing us to take Liberty, Vigilante, Absolute A-Force, Annihilators, Orcus, Starjammers, and I maybe forgot one or two, but you get the idea. There's not much choice because there's hidden mechanics in there, like War Rules active or Vigilantes in their case. Their kit just works without needing the full team. And they didn't tell us any of that, and there's nothing we can do about that. It dictates who we take. They didn't learn from the APOC saga. They just didn't make it as clear cut. So let's dig into this. This is my defense, trying to use the overpowered characters that we have available to the best of my ability. I am up to the global villain section. I am stuck in global hero because I don't have skill gear because of how they made us unlock it. Let's dig into this. First up, I've got Orcus. Orcus is not a great defense team, but they have overpowered. And these are the three Orcus characters I took into the Xavier trial. If you took different ones, I'd use them. I purposely am not using Psysup. I think Psysup is a detriment. That is how Night Stalkers deletes Orcus. Night Stalkers may still delete this. I don't know. I haven't done the matchup to find out. I want to find out. But I think these are the three best generic Orcus members to do other things. So that's who I took. I am also throwing in Omega Weapon X characters because I don't use Weapon X on offense. I'm using Omega Red to go faster. Omega Red gets speed up, or gets speed bar fill, and then Omega Red's first ability gives speed up to Lady Deathstrike, and Lady Deathstrike then rewinds characters and then hopefully gets Orcus going. And that's kind of the whole thought process behind that room. Room 2 is just an old classic. That's Hive Mind with Gladiator. Used to be Gore. Gore's kind of found a new friend with Null, so we are now using Taskmaster in there. Same idea. If they get low enough by overpowered, then guess what? This team starts to pop off and bad things happen. Most of these rooms you're going to find out that I don't really think they're going to win. I'm just more trying to make sure they don't get a free win. You know, they can't use something super cheap on it. And that's most of the goals, with the exception of like the last three, I would say. There's like 3 rooms I think actually win rooms. Now, I generally get between 4 and 9 wins in my defenses. That's generally where I land. I'm in the cargo bay. It's not perfect, and even if I don't get wins, I usually tax them of good teams that my friends get wins. So let's keep going. I've got a full X-Men room. The room rules are still active right now. We have still the defending full teams, Annihilators, Astro, Illuminati, X-Men, Infestation, all get 30% more stats. So I'm running full X-Men rooms. I'm running 2 of them. This one is kind of just trying to make them have to control characters that get speed up and heal a lot and ping. It's just trying to take advantage of all that kind of stuff. It's not crazy. It can still be beaten. I think Illuminati beats it. I think there's some other teams that beat it. But the whole idea is just, and I'm not really willing to level Beast, but you'll see for most of it, I don't really run anything less than Overpowered 10. I have a few exception characters that I just don't want to level. But I try to avoid it to the best of my ability. And the less you can have, it's Overpowered just kind of makes characters feel like junk. Like I have Wolverine at 9, I have Beast at 9. Let's keep going. Room 4, I've ran since the beginning of this. I still love this room. This used to be where I put Odin. I've now put Phoenix in there because she really didn't have a spot, but she still got crazy stats. I like her for the cleanse factor because that's kind of what Odin did, but, you know, Odin also then popped off and swiped everybody to death. But Odin was hard to protect in this room, and I didn't want to... So I was very careful about what I put in here because the big things we're trying to stop in this mode is Vigilante and Mighty, because those are 5-man lock teams. So I kind of had to be careful on how many supports I put in rooms, because Sable instantly like ability blocks them, like villains. Some of this is still enabled, by the way. There's nothing I can do about it because it's really hard to shut down those two teams completely. But I really like this room. I think it's not going to pull like a top tier team, but it'll probably pull like a B+ team, and if they underestimate it, then Phoenix can cleanse people, and all of a sudden fast characters do fast character things. I think it's overall really good. Room 5, here's another overpowered team. This team is going to be Alpha Flight with America Chavez. I am not speeding up the Omega Red on purpose. I think what this team does is it controls and then Omega Red pops off. I think that's a better way to play it than speeding up the Omega Red. Omega Red naturally is pretty tanky because he steals health on every turn, so he naturally wants to take more health from him anyways. And you know, it's enough that I think that somebody has to put something real into it, and that's the real goal. Room 6, same team I've been running for the whole season. The only difference is I now have Ghost in here. I used to have Omega Sentinel in there, but the reason I've changed that is the Vigilante team. A Vigilante wants to ability block 2 supports, and Omega Sentinel is a support. I wanted to get one less support in this room. I also think Ghost might counter the Sinister 6, because I don't think Sinister 6 has full cannot be countered in their kits. So when they start AoEing and working down the Spider Society, Ghost could be retaliating and reducing their speed bar by 25% every retaliate. And if she takes her turn, she also ISO attacks with the Striker, and Pav puts all those vulnerables out there. So I think Pav and Ghost are a really good combo together. So that's why she's in that room. Ares is also in there to kind of help combat some of their weaknesses. I'm also struggling to find places where Ares fits into the major rooms. Room 7 is kind of the first major room. That's going to be your Alpha Flight, or sorry, your Absolute A-Force. I still think the best version of Absolute A-Force is having Mephisto in place of Thanos, but I like having Mephisto in another room to help support another room being good. So we're running that. I still think Thanos usually gets wins. Again, another overpowered character. However, I am starting to see that Liberty that's on the overpowered state is kicking Room 7's butt. And that's a big deal. It's kind of the war is just kind of moving into who has more overpowered, and it's hard to make defense feel good. It just is what it is. So get ready for that. Room 8, we're trying to take advantage of overpowered. We are also trying to limit if Vigilante can beat Astral. We're also trying to limit if zombies can beat Astral as best we can. It's not perfect. We've got Mephisto. I'm trying Lilandra in there for the first time. We'll see how that goes. If I don't feel like it's making any progress, we'll go back to a different character. Some options that could be like Black Cat. Another option could be putting Strange in here for more buffs. But I'm kind of looking at options. I think that slot's kind of open right now. And I'm also don't really have a spot for Lilandra. We'll see if she even gets a turn. I'm curious. I need to do some more testing on that one. If you guys have a suggestion for this room on what could help improve it, I'm all ears. Because I kind of think Astral's kind of in this place where it almost has to be offense because of how easy it is to counter it. I'm just not sure I'm ready to pull that trigger yet. And I still got to find a place for Mephisto outside of Room 7. I want to have 3 really strong rooms. Room 9's the third one. I'm running Odin, Null, and 2 of the out-of-time members and Gore. This room is not easy to deal with. Vigilante doesn't work in here. It usually takes a pretty good sized team like Liberty or something like that to get in there, and sometimes Liberty loses this too. So, just some food for thought. I really like this room. And then Room 10, I haven't changed it at all. I would probably change out the Sunspot if I had the opportunity. And you don't have to run 2 X-Men rooms. Run one. Run one really good one. I'm a crazy person that likes Old Man Logan on defense. I still haven't changed my mind on that. I've seen a couple teams that beat it, but a lot of it's usually over punching it, and I love that part. We'll go jump into my offense right now, and that way you guys can see what I run on offense also. This is my defense. My offense is also pretty static on what I run. And here's my offense. Vigilante. Easily can find a matchup that it can win with. It has lots of things it can go into. Liberty. That almost always goes into an alpha flight team of some sort. Zombies. Zombies. Either I do zombies with Apocalypse or I do something like that. But that almost always goes into like an astral team. Sometimes I take off the zombie witch and pull her to a different team, but I always do a zombie team of some sort. This is my Mercs for Money team. I almost always throw this into Spider Society, and I do X23, and I don't need the overpowered levels on this team. This team punches up into every Spider Society I've seen outside of like a Mephisto one. And even if they did a Mephisto Spider Society, I got teams for that too. Cabal Kang, or APOC, that just is an astral counter. It can find other teams, but that's probably the best one for it. Illuminati, I tend to just throw into a fast team. I'm not very picky. It can be Alpha Flight, it can be an X-Men team, it can be whatever. Doesn't matter. Mighty Avengers, I'm usually on the hunt for a wimpy Mephisto team or a wimpy Odin team that it can go into. Or a Night Stalker team. Those are kind of where I always end up sending it. Running Night Stalkers with that size up, that gives them offense up and speed up. That's a pretty big deal. Another thing that can work in there is stealing Silver Sable and throwing her in there. That really powers that team up, but it kills two good teams. Sinister Six, again, fixes fast team. And then I also love this team. New Avengers is absolutely an amazing team in an overpowered world because these two characters still do work. If I had some of these other ones built up, I'd use them, but this team punches up on all kinds of stuff still because their damage is front loaded. I still find uses for Nova and Friends, Nowhere. And if you guys have other pieces that are built, you're welcome to use them. I don't. You're welcome to use Underworld. Underworld is going to kick butt with the upgraded Taskmaster. This is just an infestation counter. I've still got other pieces that I can throw together a team or two, but that's really my main offense. If you guys have A-Force builds or Underworld or any of these other counters out there, you're welcome to use them. You're also welcome to pull more mythic characters to offense if you think that's a better way to run. I don't think it's bad because right now, like I said, defense isn't super strong. I hope this helps you guys advance in wars and do a little bit better. Helps it with a little bit of counters and things. If you guys like these kind of videos, come thumbs up the video, come like and subscribe. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to have a couple more videos coming out. I'm going to have one talking about Overpowered and how I'd make the game better instead of Overpowered. And I'm also going to have one for my Crucible defense this week. So stay tuned.